Well, recently I sat down with the producer-director team of the acclaimed documentary American Cannibal. Please welcome Perry Grebin and Michael Nigro. All right, you guys, let's talk about your movie. I watched it, 90 minutes. An exciting thrill ride, at times nerve-wracking, an intense documentary about two writers who are somehow forced to become reality TV producers because in 2003, the landscape had already changed. And people weren't making a lot of sitcoms.
Right.
Reality shows were a lot easier to get on the air. These guys had a pilot on Comedy Central that didn't go. One of them had 2 kids and needed money, so they sold their souls and started pitching reality shows. What did you set out to do with this documentary
That was good.
when you first started?
We did not intend to make a documentary about reality television so much as why there was so much lowbrow stuff on the air and how stuff actually got there.
Yeah.
We followed writers pitching, and in pitch meetings, you know, they tend to be really boring.
Yeah.
But what we found out when we were watching these writers go into pitch meetings with producers and executives, the dynamic changed completely.
So we decided to continue on with just shooting and following how everything changed when we turned the camera on.
Yeah, but it was really the story of David and Gil, these two writers. They were obviously really frustrated, and they came up with really bizarre, intense ideas for a reality show.
We have to remember that although Dave and Gil are they're really sweet guys,
Yeah.
they are, you know, they're in the machine like everybody else. They have to feed the machine what it wants. And in many ways, TV has become a monster and it just needs to be fed.
And then you have our KB, who turns out to be the executive producer. He just wanted to be the guy who did the worst thing first.
Okay, now KB is a porn promoter, and he's a guy who sort of meets these two seemingly innocent writers who create these really kind of gross, bizarre, intense ideas for reality shows.
Basically, he never saw the show that was pitched to him, and I should say this in Gil and Dave's defense, they usually open their pitches with a joke, just to sort of lighten the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And when they pitched him a show, it was called Virgin Territory, about virgins living in the house. And
12 medically verified male virgins.
Dave always
I don't
explained.
know how you medically verify a male virgin. So anyhow, so these guys are pitching their ideas, and KB likes the show about the virgins, but ultimately throws his money behind the show called American Cannibal, which is also the name of your
Well, like a lot of reality shows, they kind of hide what the show is really about. You know, they lie to the contestants, but they get them to agree to almost anything.
The Virgin Territory thing now that Kevin Blatt is now doing is going forward.
Like here you guys are shooting what I think was supposed to be a pilot with 6 people in Puerto Rico, British New Gambia.
Yeah, they called it British New Gambia. I mean, you know, a lot of the contestants want to be doing whatever it is that it takes to get on television. For them, fame is the grail, and they see this manufactured celebrity as something that will enhance their lives or validate them somehow.
Yeah.
And we get into that in the film a little bit, but by and large, we cover the story. I mean, as we know, like you know, reality is nothing without the dramatic story. There should be something compelling and the characters go through some emotional change. And Gil and Dave are no different. And watching their relationship suffer
break down.
Yeah, I mean, they really got, I think, the bad end of the stick.
Gil, I don't know if it was the editing that you guys did. Gil seemed like a bitch. Dave seemed like a funny, cool guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, which one is, you know Dave to be the guy with the straight hair and Gil's one with the curly hair? We found it to be the opposite.
Wow.
And I mean, that's just in person. And maybe, you know,
that was just watching the movie and, you know, having watched so many reality shows.
But I will say, to be fair, Dave had a family and had probably long ago given up the idea of, I have to make the best thing I can make.
Yeah.
He's saying, I have to make a living for my family. And they say it right at the beginning of the movie. Gil is a little bit different. You know, he still has his creative dreams. Right now, you know, he's slogging through more crappy crew jobs in television because he really wants to make the great thing, and he's suffering for it. But Dave has to put food on the table, and for him, it's a very different experience.
Well, we all have to put food on the table, and, you know...
but some people can put less on than others. You know, like, when you're working for 4 people instead of just 1, you kind of have a bit of more responsibility.
You're forced to make compromises and choices.
Yeah, sacrifices, it's true.
Yeah, that you know, suit your life at that time. But I think, you know, saying that somehow you're selling your soul when you enter reality TV, because you know what, you have the choice. You can come up with smart, compelling ideas that actually add to people's lives. I'm not saying all reality does that.
It can, and I do think that, you know, 99.9% of the people that work in television really want to make good TV.
Yeah, finish this sentence. In a perfect world, reality TV would be...
End world hunger.
What?
What?
Would be end world hunger?
Would be end world hunger.
Yeah.
That's a good...
You like that?
Good grammar.
I have no idea.
Smart filmmakers.
I like that. In a perfect world, reality TV would be the best thing we'd ever seen.
And you know what? It is. Thank you very much, Perry, Michael. Thanks so much, guys. Good luck with your movie.